Welcome to the Sinister Sisters podcast. I'm Lauren.
I'm Felicia.
We're best friends.
And we like scary movies.
That's true.
That's it.
Today, we're talking about my favorite monster. Zombies.
Zombies. Also, one of my favorite, you know how, like, as I say weirdos, like, a lot of YouTubers, like, call their group of people something?
Yes.
So, Glam and Gore, she calls hers zombies. And I think that's really good.
I'm going to start calling everyone I know a zombie.
You should! I love it. Okay, sorry.
So, shall I just start with...
The beginning?
So, zombies... Okay, the American depiction of a zombie...
I don't know any other.
Right? Do we? Are there other? There are many others. The American depiction of a zombie was borrowed from 19th century Haitian voodooism.
Look, Lauren... With that internet research?
We got the internet research. God. So their beliefs or Haitians at this time believed that those who died from an unnatural cause, like murder or other things.
Murder.
I don't know what else. Sickness, I guess, is natural.
Sickness is natural.
Natural. Maybe just murder. Anyway, they would linger at their graves, which would leave their corpse susceptible to being revived by a witch doctor who would then have them as a slave. And they would be stuck in this in-between between life and death.
Interesting.
So that's sort of the idea for a zombie.
The slave thing makes sense, actually.
Yeah. So Haitians, because they were enslaved, had like a fear of, I guess, in the afterlife also.
Oh, interesting. I actually meant because zombies seem to have like no brains. Like no, so they're just like, even though they're not submissive at all, though.
Yeah.
I got lost in my own head.
You're fine. You're fine. I'm going to keep going. But anyway, so that sort of started, or not started, but that's one of the reasons that there were so many burial rites and all the other things, was to make sure that you passed on safely and you were not susceptible to becoming a, zombie for a voodoo doctor. Makes sense. Anyway, I'm diving right into movies. That's all the history you get, folks. But people credit White Zombie as the first zombie movie, and this was in 1932.
32? Wow.
32, baby. Started a long time ago. But then there were lots of zombie movies in the 40s and 50s, and I haven't seen any of them.
Not a single one.
Not a single one, so I'm not talking about it.
You just deal with it out there.
But there's a lot of, cultural things happening that led... Anyway. So... Night of the Living Dead is the the oldest movie with zombies that I have seen.
Same. I would say same.
It was 1968.
Hell yeah.
It was the first of George Romero's zombie movies. And you've seen.
Yes.
But I was just going to give a little... I mean, I don't know if you need any of this.
They do.
I'll do it. So
Toby does.
Starts with Barbara, this blonde white woman, going to the cemetery with her brother to lay flowers on their grandfather's grave.
Yeah.
Her brother's teasing her about this man who's kind of far away in the graveyard. He's like, "They're coming to get you, Barbara."
Oh,
That's the line.
That's the line.
In a very good impression that I just did.
It's really good.
And so her brother's teasing her. And then when the man gets close to them, he does, in fact, try to get her.
Oh, Lord.
So her brother kind of fights him off. Eventually, the guy kills the brother, and she runs away. She takes refuge at this farmhouse where she meets this black man named Ben.
Yes.
And he actually is sort of the final girl.
Yeah.
Lives to the end until he is killed by not a zombie, but by a white police officer.
Yes. Very political
Yeah.
tones going on in that movie.
Political tones in 1968.
Yeah.
So this movie was released actually 5 months after MLK Jr.'s assassination.
I did not know that.
Isn't that crazy?
That's really crazy.
So it definitely has political undertones, as we said. There are tensions throughout the movie, actually, between that white authoritarian character and Ben, and like what the house should do and what's the best way to do things. And I think Ben has a line at some point that like literally I was watching it again last night and sort of like, going in and out because I've seen it. And at some point he has like a very almost, he might as well be looking at the camera line that's like, if we could all just work together. And it's
my gosh.
It's like, right. Yeah, exactly.
It's funny. I read somewhere, and maybe this was wrong, but that Romero just said, like, there was no intention of casting a black actor. He was just the best actor. Yes. Is that true?
Yeah. And I read that too.
Yeah, and it's like, that might be true, but also, like, it created these really important undertones that I think are great.
Very important undertones, especially at that time.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the 60s when there were a lot of...
Yeah.
So anyway, so the other thing that's sort of cool about this movie is that it was the first time that kind of idea of, like, a mob of zombies.
Oh, yeah.
Like a horde, which is... also interesting because that was the time that like race riots and Vietnam War protests were happening on TV.
Right,
and that was like the first time, you know, big groups of people were being televised.
That's cool. I never thought of that.
Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting between the two. And this is also, I'm scared this isn't true, but I think the first time that zombies were flesh eating. At least there was an interview with George Romero where he was like, what is the scariest thing that these people rising from the dead could do? And it was to eat people.
Interesting. So I know the facts about the first brain-eating movie.
Oh.
But maybe this is... No, but flesh is different than brain. Flesh came first. So this is, I think... You know what?
I mean, there's a lot of them eating people.
Yeah.
But whether it was the first.
I'm saying it's the first, baby.
We're saying it's the first. But there are, the craziest thing to me is that little girl zombie. That was so scary to me when I very first saw it. And I think holds up so well.
Yeah. I think that whole movie holds up so well.
So well. And the, like, I don't know, a lot of the practical effects are really cool. So... next movie that I want to talk about is Dawn of the Dead, another George Romero. So this one also has some, you know, real world metaphors within the zombie craziness. It kind of comments on capitalism.
Oh.
It takes place in a mall. Have you seen? No? But it takes place in a mall. So... like the final scene is a bunch of zombies in this mall, but it's like the way it's shot, it like might as well be like a holiday store rush.
Oh, totally.
You know, like people being crazy, fighting for products instead of people. But that he was sort of commenting on like the consumption that was going on in the 70s, which I think is very cool. Next thing I'm going to talk about for 5 seconds because I haven't seen it, and I'm so sorry, is Reanimator in 1985.
I'll just put my wine glass in front of my face.
We're all ashamed.
We have a list, people. Let me tell you it is long.
And let me tell you it is run by what's on Netflix.
Oh my gosh.
What we can access for free.
It's true.
But anyway, Day of the Dead, 1985, was... sorry. Okay. So yeah, also 1985 was Day of the Dead, which was the third in the George Romero series. And just to wrap up the other ones, because I haven't seen them, there's also Land of the Dead in 2005.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Diary of the Dead, 2007. Survival of the Dead, 2009. Yeah. George Romero is sort of the zombie guy. Yeah.
If anyone's seen any of those later ones, are they good? Can you tell us?
Let us know. Let us know which ones we should watch. Yeah. Prioritize.
Yeah, let's prioritize.
But the other movie that came out in 1985, so 1985, Big Zombie Year.
Big
Zombie Year was Return of the Living Dead.
Yes,
which is
my favorite.
Sort of, I mean, it sort of feels like a parody.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's, I would say, like, almost not horror, but yes, punk rock.
Yeah.
Linnea Quigley.
There's some horror stuff.
There's some horror.
Guess. Yeah, it's very silly.
Very silly. And there were many others in that series. There was one in 19...
That's the first. Oh, sorry.
That's the first.
Sorry. What were you going to say?
What
were you going to say?
I was going to say there were 3 more.
Oh, I was going to say that's the first brain-eating one.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. That's the one fact I know about zombies.
There she goes.
Seriously.
Look at her with her facts.
Zombies, least watched subgenre of mine.
But maybe you have seen the next series I'm going to talk about, Evil Dead?
Oh, yes. Okay. Sure. But they're like, I guess they're zombies.
They're zombies.
I guess in my head they're like demons.
Yeah, demon zombies. I'm calling them zombies for this episode. Right. Evil Dead happened.
Have you seen a remake of Evil Dead? No. I have not.
I kind of refuse, but maybe I should.
People said it was good, but very different. I just been hearing a lot of people mention it recently for some reason. And I was like, I should watch it. Sorry. I keep tangenting.
No, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
So Evil Dead, 1981. Evil Dead 2, 1987.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 3, 1993. Many more.
Seems like rhyming you did. I don't know.
You know, maybe. But then the next was Brain Dead, aka Dead Alive, which I've talked a lot about.
Yes.
1992, maybe bloodiest zombie movie ever made. Peter Jackson. Lots of crazy effects. Very good. That's it.
Very good.
Then we've got 28 Days Later, 2002.
Oh yes, I have never seen this movie.
Wow,
but I know about it.
It to me is the until maybe a little bit later, but at the time that it came out, it was very serious and scary, unlike a lot of these like campier zombie things. It's also the first time maybe fast zombies.
Yes, that's what I know. I know like weird horror facts about movies I've never seen.
But it's very scary. They're very fast.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how like Romero zombies being so slow are still scary?
Yes.
Even though you can run away from them?
Yeah, I actually feel that way about a lot of horror movies. I feel like most time monsters are slow.
Yeah. Michael Myers, the
slowest.
Yeah. So slow.
So slow. But then we also had 28 Weeks Later. Sure. Then the Resident Evil films, also great. Okay. Also zombies. Yeah. Never seen them. And then my favorite, well, maybe my second favorite, but close. Shaun of the Dead in 2004.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which is amazing, which is, a parody of Dawn of the Dead.
A perfect movie in every way.
That's
one we should watch together this month. That would be really fun.
Yes. Yeah. Great effects, great laughs. I also, like, in a similar way to Dawn of the Dead, but, like, I'm sorry, babe.
It's fine.
Commenting on sort of how zombie-like humans are. That opening scene is so good that he's surrounded by zombies but doesn't realize it because normal people are so much like zombies.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I actually feel like more and more every day with our cell phones, we're all sort of...
Oh my God, just walking around like zombies?
Absolutely. And every day, I know we're one step closer to the zombie apocalypse that I will rule the world.
Lauren's ready. Lauren's the most
very
ready. Of all of us.
I'm the most ready. I would probably go to a Walmart. But anyway, Zombieland.
Hell yeah.
Another one.
Zombieland. I finally watched it.
I think my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Favorite zombie movie. I love it. I freaking love it. My favorite breakup movie.
Wait, can you tell the story really quick? I think it's really cute.
My breakup story?
Oh, yeah, just like your dad.
Yeah. So, I always tell this story. I can't remember what it was. It must have been high school. A high school boyfriend broke up with me.
Rude.
Famously, before my starring role in Peter Pan, the musical.
Honestly, how dare he?
How dare he? Biggest week of my life. Biggest week of my life. Not really. But he broke up with me, and I was very upset, and, my mom was trying the normal things.
Sure.
Nutella, cookie dough. I can't really remember. But my dad handed me Zombieland and told me that is what I needed to watch as my breakup movie, and it was incredible. It's just it's like a lot of gore.
Yeah, totally.
And
the gore's so good.
The gore is so good, and it's so also
surprised.
like it's like fun but very real.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
It's like, well, it's got this like interesting structure too.
Yeah.
Of what's his character's name? Jesse.
Oh shoot.
I can't remember.
What's the city?
I can't remember his name. Wow. But it's like, so the movie starts off with he's got his list of rules like of survival. So it's got this very like, what year did that come out? Early 2000s?
2009. It's
got this sort of that time period I feel like had this structure a lot of movies where it was like this narrator coming in and being like, this is the way you're going to survive this movie. And so it's like funny in that way, but then like the gore is like super scary.
It's super scary. Yeah. And it's also so fun because it's like, his name is Columbus. Is that, he starts off with these rules and then it's like he can add to them, he changes them.
Yeah.
As he learns and grows in the zombie apocalypse. Yeah. Bill Murray's in it.
Oh my God, hilarious. He's like pretending to be a zombie so he doesn't die.
It's so good.
So good.
Genius. Yeah. And Woody Harrelson is the best he's ever been. And Emma Stone. All of it. So the best scene is the Abigail Breslin scene, which I will not give away, but she's...
It is good.
Great. And we're very excited for Zombieland 2.
Yes. Well, we went to Halloween Horror Nights. They had a Zombieland 2. I just forgot what they're called. Scare Zone. And I hadn't seen Zombieland yet, and now I feel like I would have appreciated it so much more.
I know. They did such a good job. That Twinkie truck.
The Twinkies! Yeah, that's
so
very
good.
funny. It's like so silly.
Then a couple others I'm just going to quickly bounce my way over.
Mm-hmm.
World War Z, 2013.
Never saw it.
Never saw it. Warm Bodies, 2013.
Oh, no.
I did see.
Yes. Zombie Love.
Zombie Love. Very sweet. Zombie Love.
Zombies can be loved too.
Life After Beth, 2014.
Ooh.
The Aubrey Plaza.
Really?
John C. Reilly movie.
Dang.
It's great. Saw that. Real funny. She plays a zombie,
Real
obviously.
funny. Of course
Loves
she does.
brains. And then I just saw Train to Busan.
Yeah, Busan.
In 2016. So this is a Korean movie.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I don't think I've seen maybe I haven't seen, like Shaun of the Dead is a great zombie movie, but it's funny, and this was not funny at all.
Yeah.
Very serious, very fast zombies.
The
very
Korean
scary
horror, it's
zombies.
like if there's humor in there, I don't get it.
No.
It's brutal.
Are there even any moments? I really don't think there are.
Yeah.
The scariest is that, so it's really about a dad and a daughter who have sort of a strained relationship to begin with.
Yeah.
And then him protecting her. The scariest thing to me is that it's on a train, which I've never really thought about being a scary place.
Can't escape.
But it's so scary, and so many people in this trapped place, and then it's like they keep going to different stations, and it's like everywhere is just
Oh my god.
screwed.
Oh my god.
So it's like, what are you gonna do? And they're stuck. The other thing is that they're on this train with a bunch of zombies in different parts of the train.
It's horrifying.
So it's like they can't even go to different parts of the train. It's crazy. It's great. There's some interesting sort of like, I don't know, like class dynamics and talking about money and yeah, I just thought it was great. And this little girl is just so good.
Nice.
She's so good. And there's a wonderful pregnant lady. It's great. Highly recommend. I hate movies with subtitles. Sorry, everyone. But it's so worth it and fantastic. Also in 2016 was It Stains the Sand Red.
Yes, I watched this.
So you watched this?
I watched this
You wanna talk about
particularly.
it?
Sure. I watched it for a video I did on my channel called 3 Movies Not to Watch Before Your Period. Or On Your Period. And it was awesome. Honestly, you would love it.
I'm sure I will.
The way in which, so this woman gets like stuck in the desert and the zombie is following her, and the zombie is slow so she can outwalk him, like outpower walk him this whole time. But he just is incredibly persistent. And throughout the movie, she's sort of like, first of all, she's terrified of him, and then she's annoyed by him, and she's like pissed at him, and they develops this whole relationship with the zombie that can't talk to her, sort of like a dog or something. And at one point, and this is like a spoiler, but I don't even care, I'm just giving it to you because it's such a good, smart moment I've never seen in another movie. So she needs to distract the zombie so she can run away. So she rips out her tampon and throws it, and the zombie runs to the bloody tampon.
Genius.
Isn't that the smartest thing you've ever heard in your entire life?
We're doing that all zombie apocalypse.
You know what? Even if it's on a casual Tuesday, anyone that's bothering me on the street, just throw the tampon. But it's so good you'd really like that movie, I think.
Amazing. There are more zombie movies, but
there are.
I'm moving on to what I think is the most important thing of all time, which is the Walking Dead TV series.
Of course.
So it began in 2010. Did I watch it live? Yes, I did.
I was going to say, I'm sure you did.
I actually don't remember if I actually watched the first episode live, but pretty close to it. Mm-hmm. And that first episode is the greatest episode of television.
Oh my god, it's incredible.
I've ever seen.
Incredible.
It's
That's
so
what got
good.
me in. You were like, just watch the pilot. And I was like, I don't like zombies.
And pilots are normally terrible.
And it is freaking amazing.
Freaking amazing. So many good characters. The coolest part about this, I mean, there are a lot of things. So first off, it deals a lot with that the humans in the world are scarier than the zombies, which I think is really fascinating. Even from the first season, it's like they pretty much, there are a lot of things that come up, but they pretty much figure out how to deal with the zombies, and then it's like all the people and getting along is what they struggle with.
What people will do to survive, like self-survival.
Yeah, exactly. And who, like, there's one of the best moments I still think in the series is that one of the main characters is trying to outrun zombies with someone else and shoots the other person in the leg so that he gets eaten by the zombies. Oh, it's amazing.
So good.
There's so many things. There's a lot of, but so this really, to me, also, not sure if this is true factually, but was one of the first shows that I saw that the idea of like no character is safe.
Right.
They kill off main characters in the first season and constantly. And this is, way before Game of Thrones or any of that.
Totally.
So it's like that idea is
so
still...
much it sparked whatever their show was, their side show.
So I'm getting to that.
Oh, sorry.
So then oh my God, she threw the pumpkin.
I'm sorry.
She hates Halloween.
It's this wine. It's just really gotten to me. Sorry. Continue on.
But then we have the Fear the Walking Dead spinoff that comes from this.
Yes.
And Fear the Walking Dead is already in season 6. I can't believe it. Can you believe?
That's
crazy. And The Walking Dead's still on TV. I have not seen this newest season.
10?
It's up
9?
there.
It's up there, people. It might just be season.
It might be season.
It's more than 5 and 6. And more than 8.
It's in February 2019. The series was renewed for a 10th season, which premiered on October 6th.
Boom. Nailed it.
Bam. Facts.
Love Wikipedia.
Great show. So beginning with its 3rd season, The Walking Dead has attracted the most 18 to 49-year-old viewers of any cable or broadcast TV series.
That's so crazy.
Though viewership has declined in later seasons. But big numbers for zombies.
That's really very impressive for like a horror series.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So this also, as I think you were hinting to, was the first time that there was a live television after show where they just talked about the episode.
What happened?
So this started a trend of this. There was Talking Bad about Breaking Bad, and there was After the Thrones about Game of Thrones, and other things. But this was, the first one of these.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's crazy. It's also like...
It's sort of like YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's a way
it's a way for people who are like watching the show alone to have like someone to commiserate with.
Exactly.
And it's crazy because they do like my favorite parts are like they do the in memoriam where they show the characters that died that episode.
I've never seen this, so that's very exciting.
It's so good. And they talk to creative people and they talk to the cast at different points. They have them on there. So it's so nice. It's so nice because when you fall in love with a character and they're killed off on a TV show, it's so easy to be like, no, I hate this show. And so instead they bring them on the show. They like let them talk. They let them have a moment. It's so good.
It's so good.
Who's
your favorite character?
Daryl.
Okay, same.
I mean,
I've only seen the first like 5 seasons, and then I dropped off.
Daryl is like the first, I don't know.
He made you a woman.
He made me a woman. I was gonna say like the first boy I liked, but then I was like, that's.
God.
But you know what I mean. He's like a man, and he doesn't have feelings, and he's like doesn't talk a lot.
He's like kind of like a vampire.
And he also has like sort of made racism, like he's very racist at the beginning.
That's right. Yes.
And he learns, and now we're okay with Daryl.
And now he's not so racist. He has personal growth through the zombie apocalypse.
Yes. But I was gonna say that like probably it's not great that I don't know.
You don't.
We pretty easily forgave him for that, which
is true. I kind of forgot that was even
around.
a thing.
He came around. He's kind of a redneck.
Yeah.
But the other important zombie moment that I wanted to mention. So Walking Dead's great. Obviously, I love it. Love all the characters. Huge cultural impact.
Totally.
Brought zombies back in a very real way.
Yeah.
But also we have the fantastic Thriller music video. And
I didn't know we were going here, but I'm excited.
I just had to talk about it briefly. Michael Jackson is, definitely a child molester. But the standalone Thriller music video is still epic.
Freaking incredible.
And I, it made a huge impact on me. We did it in one of our theater before.
Yes, we did.
We did it in a Halloween theater event. We had all of our cast do the Thriller
ago?
music video. Yeah.
3 years ago. I also performed Thriller in a parade when I was like a middle schooler.
I love it.
I worked really hard on my zombie makeup.
Much harder than this.
Much harder than this. I promise you I spent hours.
But anyway, I just wanted to mention it because it was such a big deal to me, and it was, I mean, it is such a good song.
It's amazing.
So, just to sort of wrap this mother up.
Do it.
I just wanted to say, why are zombies so scary?
Ooh,
so I should say that my roommate, this is the one thing that she will not budge on.
Whoa.
It's the scariest thing to her, and I think it's so interesting because they were sort of my like way into horror,
totally.
Because I think they're so slow and so
you can
foreign.
just run faster.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel like a vampire where they're superhuman or
totally. They also don't seem very smart.
No, not smart. Like you can outsmart them, you can run faster than them. But I think it's that, first off, it's that idea of like eating human flesh is so scary. Yeah. But then I think it's also that sort of like vampires, that threat of eternal life, like that you could like live, these people had like lives and families and work. And now they're trapped in this state of being a zombie forever.
It's like the fear is actually becoming a zombie, not of a zombie.
Exactly.
That's very interesting.
And so that's the other thing that I wanted to say is that like there's always a moment in zombie movies where someone has to kill someone they recognize. Like that happens in The Walking Dead all the time. There's one beautiful, there's a scene where Morgan in The Walking Dead has to kill his wife. He has to shoot his wife, and it's like, so good. But that's like the craziest thing is that, so I read about this. So there's something in psychology that's called the uncanny valley.
Yes.
You read this?
We've talked about it.
We talked about it.
We talked about it in the Zoll episode.
Okay, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So it's that idea that like it's close to being human.
Yeah, but there's something that's irking you about it.
But there's
like
something that's
off.
irking you. Exactly. So that's true of zombies as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
That it's like, especially when it's the face of someone you know.
Yeah.
It makes
but they're
it
not
so
there
much
anymore, but they look like they're there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot in The Walking Dead where they go into this too, where it's like some people believe that they're gonna wake up one day or that they're not gone, that there will be a cure, and so then it sort of like has like a moral issue with killing them.
Totally.
Which also is crazy because it's like, I don't know, when they're like these huge hordes of zombies, they feel less personal, but it's like when you're killing your wife.
Totally. It's a lot.
So I love zombies. I feel like they've really had a range of, we've seen very campy zombie movies. We've seen very real zombie movies. We have even seen romantic zombie movies.
Yeah, they finally come around with some romance. Yeah.
They've gotten to do it all. But I love them. And they're my favorite movies. So
that's awesome.
That's it.
I learned a lot.
Did you learn a lot?
Yeah, because zombies, that's not something I know much about, so it's cool to hear about.
Yeah, now you know.
Now I know.
It's just whatever. It's my 9.5 seasons of The Walking Dead that I watch.
That's informing you, totally.
But it's great.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Have some sweet, sweet nightmares.
Bye.
Bye. Hey guys, just scooting in here for 1 second before you leave. So we're figuring out what to do next on this podcast. So if you have a request for topics or movies, specific things that you want us to cover on this podcast, please comment it down below or send us a DM on Instagram at Sinister Sisters Podcast. We want to know what you want to see, and then we'll research the shizzes out of it.
Wow.
Or Lauren will, and I'll do my best. Okay, but that's it. Have an ice cream, etc., etc. Bye.
Bye.